わかった。残念だけどいつでも遊びに来てくれ。歓迎するよ。な、ランガ。
もちろんです。
ありがとう。ランガもありがとう。
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, the Mr. Fox, back in the house, and this is my review for That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Episode 6 and Episode 7. Episode 6 is late. A whole bunch of stuff went down. Craziness. I went on vacation and all that. Well needed. It was fun. I'll have footage of that later. But anywho, we'll get straight into this. I don't know how long this is gonna be, so we're gonna go wild. I have notes, you know, for some key stuff that I personally want to point out and make sure. And you know, guys, scoot back a little bit, scoot back, yeah. Also, as you notice, I'm not on the couch. I wanted to shoot in this scene again. I wanted to use the couch for other stuff. But anyway, let's get into it. So, episode 6 and 7. So, the main points from 6 is that after, you know, the whole trial and Rimuru, Kaijin and the bunch all got banned from the city. It's been not a time skip, but not a huge one. It's like a few weeks later. So what's going on? After Rimuru came back from his little escapades with the dwarven city, one, he finds that there are 500 more guests. Not guests, residents now. He's like, okay, y'all can stay. He names all 500 of them. He goes into sleep mode for 3 days, as he normally does. The Rigard, he's no longer the Goblin Lord. He's now upgraded to Goblin King. Remember we said that he got a little bit bigger, but I didn't really see that big of a difference to him. Kaijin is now the village's blacksmith. Also, let's see, that's why I wrote these names down. So the 3 dwarven brothers. The oldest one is Garm. He makes armor and all that, so he's like the armor smith and all that. The second oldest, Dord, he's the craftsman, so he's making like, you know, the fine jewelry and all that, and maybe like he might do like a little bit of embroidery on some of the clothes and stuff, I don't know. And then the one that doesn't talk, my favorite one, Mard, he is, believe it or not, he is the architect of the bunch. So he's helping them build. He's the guy that's helping them build new buildings and set it and make it look nice and look pretty. Even though he don't speak, even when they showed him like drawing out plans and stuff for like a new building, he doesn't speak, which is just perfect. I'm gonna call him No Talk. And if you know what I'm talking about, you understand that reference. But anywho, yeah, so No Talk is the youngest, we find out. He's helping them build. Also, quick little thing about Gobet, one of my favorite characters because he's hilariously, not stupid, that's rude, but you know, he's kind of out there. He's kind of out there, and I'm out there sometimes too. But, you remember when Rimuru said in episode 5 that he wasn't going to forget him? Yeah, he forgets him. And he completely forgets about him. And when Gobet finally wakes up, they say that he prays with all his might for help. And he's actually able to summon but he's able to summon the wolf that he came with, his Tempest Wolf. It pops out of his shadow pretty much. So the Tempest Wolves, I guess now are like familiars, and they're living like in like whoever is their master's shadow. I don't really know if like each and every goblin has just like, you know, a Tempest Wolf at their beck and command, like this single one, or if it's just like, you know, a community thing. But there's someone in my comment sections that I gratefully thank him for, or them for letting me know some minor details and stuff. So I hope you are watching this and you tell me about some minor details. It makes the experience so much more fun for me until I start reading the light novel and the manga. But anywho, leaving that, so reading my notes here. Yep, the dwarves, Kaijin, Oh yeah, nope. Yeah. So that's pretty. I mean, that's not it with episode 6. So also episode 6. You remember those 3 adventures that Rimuru came across in episode 2 when he was leaving the cave? They come back. They've been sent on a mission to check out the Goblin Village by their guild master. I can't remember his name, and I can't remember the mayor's name that put him up to it. I'm sorry. Let me know in the comments if you know. But they come out there. And also we get a tag along. We get introduced. We get, I would say, not a proper introduction, but a better introduction into the woman that Rimuru is supposedly destined to be with. Her name is Shizu. And when these adventures are about to set off on their journey, Shizu's like, can I come with you? They're like, yeah, we'll be leaving in 3 days. Have your stuff ready, and we'll go. So 3 days pass by. They're leaving. And all that, and then when they finally come upon the village, they come across some giant ants, or should I say the ants come across them. These things are huge and terrifying because ants in their own right are scary. But Shizu decides to show off some of that skill because she is a legendary hero from like 50 years ago, that she's going to take them out. And she's very adept at fire magic because, flaming sword, shing. Love it. I love elements on blades. It's one of my favorite things about like RPGs and all that. But anywho, so yeah, she takes them out, and then actually she takes all of them out she takes them all out except one. He doesn't play dead, but you know how it does. It's hard to kill crazy. He's like, oh, you think I'm dead, but I'm gonna get one last swipe. No. This is when Rimuru and Ranga come. Was Ranga with him? I don't know. But Rimuru definitely comes in. He uses his new skill, Black Lightning, which I love. If you know anything about me, if I ever had to get an elemental-based ability, my first pick will always be lightning or thunder. Anything that deals with electricity, I'm in on. And then afterwards, it'd probably be ice and then fire. But, that's necessarily not in that order. But lightning is always at the top of my list for just to be able to control an element. Love it. So yeah, he uses Black Lightning, finishes it off. He greets them. He invites them back to the village. Gives them some food because those 3 adventurers, they're starving. They're hungry and they eat. And they sure enough eat like they ain't eaten a while. But they probably ain't making that good of money. Because not to say that they're bad adventurers, but they go on adventures, but you can tell they're not the ones raking in the dough. They squeaking by like the rest of us. You feel me? But and this is where Rimuru, you can tell he's a business. You can tell he's a businessman. He inquires like, why are you here? And they're like, pretty much like the city told them to check out the village and make sure that it's okay. Make sure that will this be a threat to us later? And they're like, you can tell they're nonchalant about their answers. They don't really know the full agenda. Rimuru doesn't either, but you can tell he's like, there's a hidden motive behind this, but we'll let it go. And I mean, and then also that's not the episode, but afterwards they eat and all that. Rimuru tells Rieger and all them like, take care of them, make sure they're well fed and all that mess. I figure he does that mainly for the fact he's a nice guy and for the fact he's like, we'll send them home on some full bellies with a good taste in their mouth. So maybe the city won't get any crazy ideas to attack us yet. Because I feel like it's gonna happen. Goblin Village right next to your town. We know how humans are. So they're probably gonna, so at some point they're like, yeah, no, we're gonna have to take y'all out. Thank you for feeding us though, but you feel me? It's just how it goes. But after all that, Shizu and Rimuru have a nice moment, a very cute moment. I love these two together. I've been waiting to see them together ever since the trailer. Well, not the trailer, since the intro, because the intro puts them together a little bit in there. And also, it's the person that Rimuru is supposed to be with. Supposedly. I don't know how this is. Do not spoil that for me. Do not. I usually don't care about spoilers, but this one I do. I want to find out for myself. Let me find out, please. But anywho, so actually, But prior to them talking, Rimuru made a joke that Shizu got, and it kind of clued him into like she probably is from like Japan. But we find out that she's not from the same era that he's from. She's from like World War II era, or it's implied. They didn't say it, but you know because Shizu is a summon. She wasn't reincarnated like Rimuru. She's a summon. I'll go deeper into that. That's episode 7 territory. But it looked like when she was being summoned, a pillar of fire wraps around her and burns her heavily. But also, like, while that's going on, like, bombs are raining down. It's heavy. Like I said, not stated outright, but I mean, my brain says she's from WW2 era, like right when when America dropped the bomb. Sorry, I don't know. We'll leave that alone. But yeah. So, I mean, they talk and they pretty much get down to the point. It's like, remember, it's like, are you from Japan? She's like, yeah, pretty much. I mean, pretty much. And you know, Rimuru gets the idea. She's like, you know, I miss my home and all that. And Rimuru decides he's gonna show her how Japan has progressed since the time, you know, since like WW2 times. I'm gonna say WW2 because I'm pretty sure it's WW2. But anywho, he shows her. Actually, it's funny because he tries to show her that, but he ends up showing her like stuff that he's had on his computer, which, as we all know by now, it's probably a bunch of elf hentai and doujinshis and who knows what else. But you know, but she's just a pretty cool chick. She's like, she's like, the girl in there is pretty, and he's like, ignore it. And then he shows her, you know, how Japan progressed all the time that he lived and all that, which I guess would be modern day Japan. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, and the episode ends with like Shizu like freezing up again. So it, you know, that like, and then Rimuru thinks back. He's like, she's probably a summon, because when you're summoned, you are pretty much enslaved to the person that summons you. Now, I don't know if that means obviously Shizu is far away from her master. I'm assuming she ran away, and I'm pretty sure he's just like, yeah, sure, do whatever you want. You can't go anywhere. I always know where you're at. But we find out that when she was summoned by the Demon Lord, and he implanted the fire spirit Ifrit inside of her, because she had an affinity for fire magic, as I said earlier. And I don't know too much about Ifrit. I know he's from like Final Fantasy and like actual like Greek, I think it's Greek lore. Also correct me about that, but I know he's not like real, but he's like a thing. Like, it's not just made up for this series. So this is really the first time I've heard of him. I don't really know. I wanted Final Fantasy 15. Honestly, just never got around to buying it. And then it got to a point where it's just like, okay, I don't care anymore. I'll probably pick it up when it's on sale or something. Maybe. Yeah, that's how the episode ends. Now, jumping into episode 7. Episode 7 is pretty much like a pickup from it. I mean, it is a pickup from episode 6, but it's pretty much the tail end of 6, and pretty much like the majority of 7, if not all of 7, is based on Shizu, which I like. I like her character design. I like her personality. So we get more on Shizu's backstory. So, like I said, Demon Lord summoned her. He implants Ifrit inside of her. And it looks like that whenever, I don't want to say whenever, but like the Demon Lord is able to invoke Ifrit at certain points and make him override Shizu's, like override Shizu. I mean, pretty much she's just like trapped in her own body. She can't do anything, because when she, after all that, after that, I guess she becomes like a servant, a guard, whatever. I mean, you put it, I'm assuming like a high-ranking general or guard or something, because you got Ifrit in you. I know Ifrit ain't no pushover. He's a pretty powerful fire spirit, if not one of the most powerful, that they're out there. Like I said, I'm not really too adept in that, so you can tell me about it or send me something to read about, because I like reading about that stuff. But when Shizu is like, as she's growing up, with the Demon Lord. She comes across this girl. Now I don't know. I mistakenly thought that this girl was like the Demon Lord's daughter or something. Maybe she was just a servant girl that just was supposed to clean the floors or something. I don't know. But she comes across like, was it a fox? It better be a fox because my moniker is Mr. Fox and I love foxes. I want to go to Japan and go to that fox petting zoo. And if I ever do, I'm going to film the crap out of it and probably steal one of them. But I digress. So we know that in this series, names have power. So I don't know. So she comes across this little girl. She's playing with like this little fox monster or whatever. It's cute. It's really cute, by the way. It's adorbs. Very adorable. And Shizu being from another world, you gotta have a name. I gotta be able to call you something so it's easier to address you. So I think she names the fox Pizu. I'll throw that name up. Or not. I don't think it's really that important. Pizu or something, and it gets bigger because names grant power. Now I don't know, actually no, take it back. Yeah, it's because Shizu named him Pizu. He got a little bit bigger. The girl is gonna take him into the castle, and Shizu's like a little hesitant about that. She's like, "Are you sure?" And the girl's like, "Yeah, that's fine. It'll be okay." No, it doesn't. She goes in. I guess the Demon Lord is just like walking around or coming downstairs to get a bite to eat or something or whatever he does. The little Pizu, the fox, sees him and he's like, "Nope, this guy is bad news." Animal instincts kick in. You know how that is. So he's growling. And this is where I say that I think the Demon Lord is able to invoke Ifrit, even whether Shizu wants him to or not, because next thing you know, her eyes glow red, and she's like, "Enemy?" Something like that's where I was like, she's probably like a high-ranking guard or general or something. And this is where the show reminds me that it can get dark, because Ifrit / Shizu torches this fox and this girl at the same time with no hesitation. Like fire pillar, like blast burn in Pokemon, gone. I'm like, oh my goodness, I forgot that you can get dark sometimes. You feel me? Crazy. And afterwards, Shizu comes back normal. She is heartbroken. She's like, "What did I do?" And she's in tears. It's really sad. And then we cut to Shizu present time. She was dreaming about this, and she's trying to hide this from everyone for obvious reasons. And when she wakes up, the rest of the adventurers and all that are talking to Rimuru and them. They're about to go, back to the town. Pretty much get a report like, "Oh yeah, village is fine. You don't have to worry." The leader is a slime. He's a very stand-up guy. He fed us very good food and made sure that no one beat us to death, and we got to sleep in very nice beds. Yeah, he's a nice guy. Anywho, Shizu informs the mage of the adventurers group, which is a blonde-haired girl. Don't know her name, but actually, all the adventurers have names. I don't know their names. I'm not gonna say they're not important, but they're not important to me right now as of this moment. We'll put it that way. So Shizu informs her like, y'all are going back. She said, you go back. I'm gonna go pretty much do my own thing, because if I stay with you, I'm gonna cause trouble. Then those two meet up with the other two adventurers and Rigard, his son Rimuru, and Ranga. Also, by the way, Ranga and Shizu had a cute moment. If you don't know me, I love Ranga. Ranga reminds me of my dogs that stay at my grandmother's house. Right now we have like 2 Rottweilers and 2 Yorkies, but we used to have like 5 Rottweilers. And I love big dogs. I love Rottweilers, especially. Love them to death. They are the best dogs ever. Do not argue with me about it, because I was raised with them, so I know personally. But anywho, I'm gonna be jumping all over the place, as you can tell, and I'm gonna miss things. But correct me in the comments. Tell me what I missed. But anywho, after this, Shizu tells Rimuru and them the same thing. Like, I can't stay here because I might cause you problems. Rimuru kind of guesses what might be at hand, but he's like, okay, cool, you know, you can come back here anytime you want. You can stay here, and you can stay here as long as you want. And then next thing you know, Ifrit, I don't know why Ifrit evokes. I'm assuming like the Demon Lord is like, you need to bring your tail home, cause you've been out too long. You passed your curfew. You're like a few you're a few decades past your curfew or something. I don't know how long she's been gone, but anywho. So yeah, the Ifrit invokes, and it takes over her completely. Like, he goes into this, like, his actual physical form, and it proceeds to Ifrit and Rimuru fighting, and the fight doesn't last very long. Ifrit is very powerful, and Rimuru is able to. Rimuru takes him. Actually, the skill Predator is so OP that I want it. That I wish there was an actual skill with those actual little attributes that it does in a game, because we'll get into it. But Rimuru's fighting Ifrit, and then at some point he gets caught in a magical circle. Also, shout out to the artists and animators for the detail in that magic circle. I love little stuff like that. It just little tiny details like that go so far. But he gets caught up in it, and then a fire pillar rises up, which is, I'm assuming, like a moniker of Ifrit. He just likes to make fire pillars all day, and he can also make copies of himself, and he can summon like little. They're not little. They're like dragons or imps mixed. I don't know. Who cares? But Rimuru's in this fire, and he's in there. He's screaming, I'm gonna die. This was a nice life. I love that little thing. He said life, and he's like, well, I'm a slime, so it's slife. Slife life. Slife life. Hashtag slife life. YOLO. Well, he had more than one life. But anywho. And then this is where the Great Sage comes in. The Great Sage, like, it doesn't say this, but you do realize that you have like thermal induction. So pretty much you're immune to heat. Like, completely. Heat doesn't affect him, period. And I think it's also the same thing with cold, but don't quote me on that. But heat, definitely. Like, you don't feel heat. It doesn't affect you, dude. You're good. And then Rimuru tries to play it off like, this was according to my plan. And this is where I love I don't know if this is like in the light novel or the manga, but if the animators did this like purely on their own, kudos, because the Great Sage is like like, it doesn't say this either. It's like, really, dude, you forgot your own skills. And also, shouts out to Chibi Reviews, because he pointed out that's where this show and Overlord differ, because he said, you know, like in Overlord, I don't know why I want to say Momonga. Ainz, Bone Daddy Ainz, he knows all his skills. He knows exactly how to use them, all their capabilities. Rimuru is the complete opposite. He doesn't know his skills, but he's able to lead people better. Something like that. Go check out Chibi for that, for his review. I love watching those two, along with a few other YouTubers. But I mean, and then like while it's going on, like when Ifrit pops up, it's not just Rimuru by himself immediately. It's him and the adventurers. The adventurers, they get wiped. But before that, the mage uses an ice technique. Rimuru tells her to shoot it at him. He absorbs it, and now he's able to use ice techniques. So he used that to defeat the little minions that Ifrit summons. And then he tries to use it on Ifrit. I don't think it worked. I'm not sure. I'll play like a clip of like the fighting scene and all that when it happened. But I mean, at the end of the day, Rimuru just decides to absorb Ifrit. And now the thing about it is, we know he can do that skill Predator. He's used it multiple times when he's gotten other skills like the Silk, the Water Blade, and all that. But what threw me off was that after he absorbed Ifrit, Shizu's body, drops out. So I assume okay, like this is how, like, in the intro it shows him in that small little form that looks like a woman, like how Kirito did when he in Gun Gale Online. So that's I was like, okay. I said, oh, okay. So he's going to absorb Shizu and Ifrit, and he's going to figure out how to separate them. But meanwhile, he's going to take that form. No, I mean, I'm still wondering how is he going to get this form. That's what's really been that's been like one of the main staples for me. Is like, when is he going to get his human form? When and how? I thought, okay, cool. This is how. No, but Shizu's body pops up. I don't know. Maybe the form is like a toned down version of Ifrit. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But then after all that, we cut to Ifrit inside of Rimuru, and he's confused. I don't know what if it even takes a gender. Who cares? But I'm saying he's like trying to figure like where am I? He tries to fire, flame it up. Nothing happened. And then this is where we get reintroduced to my boy Tempest Veldor, and he's like you are pretty much useless against Rimuru. Don't even try. He is my dear friend, and he's like, if you want to though, I will take you on. And Ifrit is like freaking out because, as you know, Veldora is one of the strongest creatures in existence in this world. He's one of the strongest. He's one of the great four dragons, Tempest Veldor. I was happy to see him in the little dialogue that we got, but that is where that ends. All I gotta say is 6 and 7 were phenomenal. The moments I love the most with Rimuru and Shizu. I want to see more of that, but in a good way, not in a just throw them together and it has nothing to do with the plot. But that's all I want to say. I'm gonna put my notes away. They're about to fall out, but tell me what you thought about the episodes. Also, sorry that it was late. Like I said, last week was hectic. Vacation. Oh my goodness, work. But I don't want to talk about that. Quick update too. I'm going to keep these updates short as possible. So I know I said I'm going to stream Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Smash Bros. So I probably won't be streaming Pokemon simply for the fact that my crappy capture card is dead, so I have to buy a new one. I'm still trying to see if I can fix it. So if it does get fixed, you'll see y'all post about it. If not, then So I gotta buy a new capture card. I'm really highly upset about that because it crapped out on me like at one of the worst moments because I'm really excited about this. Also, I'm gonna try. Like I said, my schedule is hectic, so I'm sorry these reviews and stuff take so long to get out. But if you do watch them, I thank you. Do all the stuff that I normally tell you to do. Like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell for notifications when I drop more videos. Follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitch, but until I get this capture card, until I get a new one, I get it fixed, Twitch ain't coming. I'm sorry. I've been saying it for months. But, I mean, that's it. I hope you enjoyed these. I got tons more videos to get out. It's just my work schedule is hectic, and by the time I get home, I'm wiped, dude. I'm wiped. But it's your boy, the Mr. Fox. Hoping you enjoy his videos. And with all that being said, I'm out.
絵はがきで見たニューヨークの摩天楼のよう。戦争が終わって平和になったよ。街も経済も発展した。そっか、よかった。お母さんにも見せてあげたかったな。